Hello everyone. In this video I am going to explain about servlet context and servlet config objects in servlet. If you see this picture, we can understand that servlet config object is per servlet. That means if you have 4 servlets, every servlet will have its own servlet config object. Okay, servlet 1 will have its own servlet config, servlet 2 will have its own servlet config. Whereas for entire web application, there will be only one servlet context object. If you see, servlet context is one per entire web application. All the servlets and JSP pages will share the same servlet context because there is only one servlet context. Whereas servlet config is one per servlet. If you have 100 servlets, you will have 100 servlet config objects. Okay, if you store something in servlet context, that can be accessible by servlets as well as JSP pages, because the servlet context is shared by all the servlets and JSP pages. If you put something value here, if you put something here, and this value can be shared by all the servlets and JSP pages. Whereas if you put something in servlet config, if you put something in servlet config object, this cannot be accessible by other servlets because the servlet config object is exclusively to this servlet. Okay, so this cannot be accessible by other servlets because this is specific to this servlet. Whatever you configure for this servlet 1, this cannot be accessible by servlet 2. So if you want to share across all the servlets and JSP pages, put something in servlet context. Servlet, if you want exclusively for that servlet, then place it in the servlet config. Okay, now let us see one example on how to use servlet context and servlet config objects, how to configure servlet config parameters and servlet context parameters. Okay, go to web.xml. Suppose if I want to configure my email ID, instead of hard coding the email, I can configure init params in servlet. It is something like a hash table or a hash map where we can store key value. In the same way, we can specify key value kind of thing like param name. So if you configure initialization parameters in the servlet, if you see this is one servlet, right? If you write this between this servlet tag, that means it is like storing the value here. That means this can be accessible if you put something in the config, that means accessible by only that servlet. So if you put this configuration in the servlet, so this only hello world servlet can access these values. Okay, let us retrieve. If I want my email id, I have to ask servlet config object with this value, then this with this name, and servlet config will give me this value, means my email will be given. Okay, let us see how to use this. I can say get if you observe the servlet API, so the get servlet config method comes from the servlet interface, right? There is something called get servlet config from the servlet interface. The generic servlet will provide the implementation for this get servlet config. So every servlet can access config by using get servlet config, and it can access the context servlet context by saying get servlet context. In this example, we are reading the parameters, initialization parameters from config. So we have to say get servlet config. That means it will return servlet config object is equal to, since we are beginners, I am writing in separate lines. We have to import the servlet config from javax.servlet package. Then we have to say email string email is equal to, you have to ask the servlet config to give my email id which is configured in the web.xml. Okay, you have to use this name to retrieve this email id. Okay, I want to print this email to the browser. What we have to do, as I have already explained in the previous tutorial, if you write something into the print writer object, which you can think like print writer as a connection between the server side and client side. That means assume there is a virtual connection between the server side and the browser. So whatever you write using write method from the print writer, that will go to the browser. So if you say print write my email is email. Okay, let us test this. Start the server. So my server is started. So I have to say localhost, my web application name, and the URL pattern for the servlet. Okay, this will generate the get request. Can you see? Hi servlet learner, I am from get method. My email is FB Java learners. So my servlet could access the email that I configured in the servlet. Okay, this cannot be accessible from, if you write some another servlet like test servlet, you cannot access this email in that servlet, because when you configure initialization parameters in the servlet section, that means these parameters are for or per only hello world servlet only. Okay, it cannot be this email cannot be accessible by other servlets. If you want all the servlets to access, then what you have to do is you have to add context parameters. Means if you store something in the context parameters, that will be accessible by all the servers and JSP pages. Let us write context param name context email context@gmail.com. just this is for testing. Okay, what I will do is I will quickly create another servlet to test that this context email can be accessible by all the servers, whereas this cannot be accessible by all the servers. I will prove that one. Let us create another servlet quickly. Go to new servlet, give the package class name my second servlet. Okay, I will just copy this content, that's it. To, as I have explained in the previous tutorial, if you want to access hello world servlet, you have to use XYZ, whereas to use my second servlet, you have to use the URL pattern. Just blindly remember that whatever the value is in the URL pattern, that should be used to access the servlet. But this is a long name, just I will give second servlet. Instead of that long name, I can give like this. So to access my second servlet, I am giving, I want to use, I should use /sec/ser. Okay, but how the Tomcat container will know whether if it needs to call hello world servlet or second servlet? Because it will, if I give the second servlet in the URL in the browser, then by using servlet name, okay, now if you see, this is one servlet and its corresponding mapping, right? And this is another servlet and this is another mapping. So whenever this value is given in the browser, container understands which servlet to call using by this servlet name. It will go to the servlet section. See, this is one servlet section. It tries to see if there is any servlet name with my second servlet. First it checks, assume this is hello world servlet, it will ignore this one, then it will go to this one. Now the match, then servlet name matches with the name given in the servlet mapping, so this class second servlet will be invoked whenever we give the URL pattern like this one. So hope you understand this. So we will test get servlet. What I am doing in the second servlet, I am trying to read the value that I configured in the web.xml for the first servlet. It should not be retrieved in the second servlet. That is what I want to prove. Okay, earlier in the first servlet I am able to get the email ID. Now I should get null, because if we configure the initialization parameters for servlet, it cannot be accessible by other servlets. Okay, let us restart. So my first servlet is able to get the initialization parameter. Can you see? The value is null, because in the web.xml I have configured my email in the servlet. That means this cannot be accessible by other servlet. Let us see how to access context parameters. In the second servlet I will get the servlet context object. Import servlet context from the javax.servlet. You have to say get servlet context dot get init param. What is the name? Context email. If you ask a context object for context email, it will give the email ID. Okay, string ctx email is equal to sctx dot get init parameter of context email. Let us print this. Pw dot write my context parameter email. Okay, we will copy the same thing in the hello world servlet also, to test that whatever we configured in the servlet context, that can be accessible by all the servlets. If you configure the parameters in the servlet section that is too specific to the that servlet, it cannot be accessible by all the servlets. Whereas if you configure in the context parameter section, then that context email can be accessible by all the servlets, this servlet, the second servlet, and the JSP pages. Okay, let us restart. Previously we got null because the servlet config cannot be shared by the second servlet, whereas context parameter can be shared by second servlet also. We will see the context email on the browser for second servlet also. So my server is started. Let us Can you see? My email is null, but my context parameter email is also null. I think we might have given the spelling mistake. E is small, but I have given as capital. That's the problem. Otherwise there is no issue. Okay, my servlet is, can you see? When you make changes, this IDE restarted, I mean redeployed the web application. So remember that once the server is started, if you make any changes to the web.xml, those won't be reflected unless the application is redeployed. IDE is automatically redeploying, otherwise those changes will not be reflected until you restart the Tomcat or you redeploy the web application. Okay, can you see now? Is the second servlet is not able to access my email because my email is configured in the first servlet, so second servlet cannot access that my email, whereas my context parameter is accessible from second servlet also, because there is only one servlet context. Let us see, this is first servlet. Can you see? First servlet can access my email as well as context parameter, because this is my servlet context is shared across all servers, so this can access, and my email is configured for hello world servlet, so this can access the parameter. Okay, if you want to retrieve this context parameter in the JSP page, let us create a small test JSP page and we will conclude this video. Test context.jsp. Okay, for now, since we didn't discuss about JSP, just save the file name with the .jsp. If you want to write the Java code, what you can do is just specify this less than percentage and percentage less than, and then you can write the Java code. This is called scriptlet. In the coming videos we will discuss more about this JSP and all the scriptlets and all those things. For now I want to let you know how to access the context parameter from JSP page. Okay, don't worry, I will explain. In JSP, if you want to, in the servlet, to access the servlet context, what we are saying, get servlet context, right? But in the JSP page we can simply say application, because you can think like this JSP servlet this JSP page gets converted into the servlet. By default there are some objects configured for us, so servlet context is configured with the name application. Sorry, so we can simply say application.getInit parameter. We can say what is the name of the context parameter, context email. Okay, simply say out. These are implicit objects. I will discuss when I discuss about the JSP pages. Out is one implicit object. Out means the print writer object. See, in the servlet what you are doing, you have to get the response.getWriter, then you have to use write, right? But instead of that, in JSP page all that object is already configured. We have to simply use the name with the default name. out dot print. Application is one implicit object. In JSP, servlet context can be is referred to as application. So that's why instead of saying get servlet context, all those things, I can simply say application dot, and out is for writing something into the browser. Okay, let us run this page. For now, remember that out is if you write something using out object with the println, that content will go into the browser. And application means nothing but, remember blindly that application is servlet context object. If you want to use servlet context, simply refer with the name application and run this. Can you see? I am able to retrieve the context parameter that I configured here. That means in this, by this example, we can understand that the context parameter can be accessible by all the JSP pages and all the servlets. But if you configure the parameters in the servlet section, then those values are specific to that servlet. Those cannot be accessible by other servlets. That is what I have shown. In this, my email cannot be accessed from the second servlet. That's why it became null. But whereas the second servlet is able to access context email, because this context param is shared by all the servlets and JSP pages. Hope you understand. Thank you.